Hey guys, welcome back. So we are back out here on this culvert and road job. Let's go down here and see what Fred got done, because I haven't been here since then. We had a rain day yesterday, so had a little bit of a break, but our customer did send me a video of this pipe when it was raining and it was working perfectly. Let's walk down here and check it out. You can see some washing that just happened. I know it's kind of dark, but there was some washing that happened just yesterday. We had quite the rain yesterday. So we did bring one load of rock to backfill this pipe with, and Fred got that spread. You can see there's a bit of hump here right now, but once we get this whole road graded, we're gonna bring this up to grade, so it'll be just fine. Yeah, this will work. So this is good, guys. I know it's kind of dark, but you can see we just had some rain, so look at the water. It's coming right down through here, and it already washed out. It's coming right through here. It's already washing out right where we just put it in this pipe. So we got a low spot right here. I mean, there's all the indications of it. So we got some road shaping to do. We're gonna get to that because that's the next step of this project. But sun's still coming up. Quiet time of day. I love it. But guys, if you're new here, my name is Ron. I'm retired military. I started this business, we're in our 5th year now, and this wasn't always a full-time gig for me. It was a side hustle for years and years and years. Well, I recently quit my job and I'm chasing my dream, and I just want to share my story, guys, and show you guys that I'm just an average dude chasing my dreams, and if I can do this, anybody can do it. But what we do, we just go around. We got this mini excavator, the skid steer, and Fred's just got here with our dump truck, and we go around and do these little jobs, guys. We do site prep, road grading, just quick little in and out jobs. Sometimes we'll get in a couple week job, but this is our bread and butter here, guys. But guys, thank you so much for being here, and we're gonna get to work and see what Fred's got.
How come that won't turn down?
It may not be on volume or something. What do you got that on? You probably pushed a button. Let me come up in here. Old man can't figure out how to run the radio. All this dang technology, these whippersnappers. Stuff's falling. What do you got going on here? There you go.
I sit there turning the thing.
You got to be smarter than the knob.
Yes, I don't know. Man, I'm having a hard day already.
Let's do a quick little walk. I'll show you the plan. So, we got an issue here. I think the best thing to do here, we're gonna try to shave that down. Now, we do have a water line there, so we gotta be careful. We just replaced this culvert pipe, and we did not find a water line, but it was mismarked. The utility company had it marked way over here, and we found a marker tape right here. So, trust but verify on this kind of thing, guys. So we're going to be really careful is what I'm getting at, because it's marked there. We don't know how deep it is. We don't even know if that's exactly where it's at, but we're going to shave this off. That way water will get into the ditch. You can see how it's being contained there. This road is very bare. You can see we got 8 loads of rock coming on this road. There was just rock to the surface. This here is a huge low spot. The only thing to do here is to build it up or cut this side down. You can see we got trees and whatnot. So I think what I'm gonna do here is just build this up and crown it. I think that's the best thing to do, because it's just so low, and to shave all this off is, I mean, it can be done, but we got trees and whatnot. So that may take an extra load of rock or so to get that crowned. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But look at all the indications of water. So up here is not too bad. This road's really flat, so we need to do some shaping here. No real problems up through here. I mean, you can see where water is coming down the road, and you can tell by just all these little debris dams So water is on the road. We need to get this shaped. Look at the road up here. It's so low in the middle. We'll see what we can do here. But check this out. This is a force main sewer on top of the ground. This is the crap we deal with out here. Rock. I got the breaker on the trailer. We're gonna be busting rock. So this area here is getting water on the road, but all the indications show that it's just stuff coming out of the sky, because look how high the road is there. So this here, we're just gonna get these rocks out and then put a nice layer over it, get it graded up. And then you can see Mother Nature's just doing its thing, and it already made its own ditch through here. So what we're gonna do, since the excavator's here, we're just gonna shape this up, make a proper ditch, work with Mother Nature here. And then one of the big areas we're gonna fix right here, you can see water, when we get big rains, water's coming down through here and it's coming out right there. So this here is a problem. We're gonna fix it. And all we're gonna do, we're gonna dig this ditch out. And of course there's rocks. We'll get that busted out. We'll get all this shaped up, make it a little bit deeper. That way this does not happen again. But that is the plan. So here's the plan. Fred's gonna cut down the road there. You can see he's already doing that. I'm gonna head up the hill. I'm gonna start breaking rock. And once he gets all this shaped up, I'll come through the skid steer, get all that picked out of there. See all that rock that's in there? That would have been a bear degrade with this skid steer. So I'm glad we have the excavator here. I do have a hydraulic leak, and it's coming from the breaker itself. Check out this coupler. See how those edges are kind of rounded off? We've had this breaker a couple years, so it's due. Luckily, got some spares in the truck. There we go. Hold this up high so I don't lose all my hydraulic fluid. Oh goodness, we're gonna lose a little bit. And it's not the frickin' same, go figure. Just my luck. Well, we'll try to get through this job with that old coupler. Hopefully it's not leaking too bad. Hopefully I don't have a lot of braking to do, because the nearest place to get those couplers is way up in Jeff City, which is like an hour away. So we will see if we can get through the day. If you guys are wondering, if you want to be a pretty boy operator, have clean hands, right here. Wash your hands out in the field. I try to keep our machines clean and nice. I don't want to get in there covered in hydraulic fluid. Check this out, look how loose that is. That's why it's leaking. Change to the change. So that's leaking too bad. So we are abandoning the breaker idea for the day. And Fred's gonna take the excavator up there and see if he can peel those out with that. If that works, then we won't worry about it. If it doesn't, then I will go get a new coupler Monday morning, and we'll come back and break it. But what I'm gonna work on right now is basically, I'm just gonna work from right here where we're at down, get this shaped up today. Fred's gonna start hauling rock, if he's not able to get the rock out of the road that we just talked about. So that's the plan. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come down here to the bottom, because this is the grade I want. Up there by the dump truck, you remember we still got some shaping to do. So what I'm gonna do, see this right here is the grade that I want. So I'm just gonna grade this off. We're insloping the road here. That is the goal. And I'm gonna take all of this extra dirt and put it over this extra culvert pipe we have here that we put in yesterday. That was the plan all along. Pre-plan. These videos are kind of hard to... Oh, there's a big old rock. They're kind of hard to make, because I don't know what's going to happen in these videos. I have a plan, and then the plans change. Welcome to my world. You guys are going to see a common theme. what I'll do here is, because I don't want to get too close to the edge, I'll keep building it up, and then once we get a big old pile of dirt there, I'll push it over the edge. This is working out great. This is exactly what we want. So what I'm looking at here is, see right here, I'm setting my bucket flat on the ground, and the left side's cutting and the right side is not, so I'm not quite on grade, but I am now. See that? That's all it is, little cuts at a time. When you got a skid steer with the power, makes all the difference. Fred's not able to get that rock out, he's gonna start hauling rock from the quarry for us. This customer here is amazing. You get those really good customers. Actually, you know what? I'm misspeaking. We get a lot of really good customers all the time, but John's another one. Just a really good guy to work for. Really appreciative. That's rare to get these days. That's a good thing about when you're in business for yourself, guys, is yes, you own your own business, but at the end of the day, you are still working for people, but you get to pick your customers. Remember that, that's important. Don't take every job that comes your way. If you're new and just starting, yes, you may have to, but once you get established, you can kind of pick and choose your customers and your projects, which is nice. I've got a lot of red flag things that I could tell you guys that I kind of screen my customers with. I don't know if I really want to get into it because it might insult some people, but I know the kind of customers that I don't want to work for, and I know their mannerisms, and I know this is going to sound really bad. I know their career fields. You know what? I'm just going to say it. Other business owners, guys, I kid you not, this is going to sound so bad, but it's important. I don't know why this is, but I'm telling you, every time I go out and bid work for another small business, like a business owner similar to myself, maybe in construction or any kind of trades or just any kind of business, I mean, even a donut shop, guys, I bid some work for a guy that owns a donut shop. Didn't work out. I didn't get the job because I chose not to do the job. But what I'm getting at is, for some reason, my history of bids and customers that ghost me are other business owners every time. They are the worst. And you think that because you own a business, you would know how to treat people. That's just not the case. I don't know. I don't get it. Because there's nothing worse than getting ghosted by a customer. You take the time to go out and give a bid, and then the customer just disappears. Poof, they're gone. Won't answer text, won't answer their phone. And guys, I know I am not the cheap guy. I am fully aware of that. And I don't want to be the cheap guy. And so I completely understand if customers are shopping around, get multiple bids. I'm completely on board with that. But at least have the respect if a contractor comes out and gives you a bid to, at a minimum, say, yeah, I'm sorry, sir, we went a different route. At least give an answer. Like, because, guys, us as contractors, we are people just like everybody else. We only got so many hours in a day, and if I spend 2-3 hours on a bid and then the customer doesn't even have the respect to give me an answer, that to me is the ultimate disrespect that you could do to somebody. I cannot stand it. So that's where pre-qualifying your customers comes in, guys. You got to get good at pre-qualifying. And that's why I said this sounds really bad, but I already know there's a high chance if I talk to a customer and I find out, you know, in my pre-qualification process that they own a small business, there's a good chance I'm gonna get ghosted, just going off history. Not everyone is like that, guys. I'm not saying they are, but the stereotype and my experience tells me that's a high chance of happening. So that's what I'm getting at. It's important to pre-qualify your customers because you can pick and choose how to spend your time. Don't go out and do bids for somebody that's not going to hire you, basically. And you learn this stuff the longer you're in business. And guys, don't get me wrong, I don't treat anybody poorly. Like if I get a call and somebody, you know, we're pre-qualifying and I find out that it's probably not, we're probably not a good match. That's a nice way of saying it. You be respectful and just decline the bid. Just say, you know, I think maybe we may not be the best fit for your project. And then you move on. And guess what? You didn't waste all that time. But all this comes with time, guys. And I'm talking general terms here. I know a lot of you guys watching this are very seasoned, way more seasoned than me. So, what do you guys think? Have you guys experienced the same thing? Like, is there a type of question that you ask your customers before doing bids to help you pre-qualify them to protect your time and your customers' time? Because guys, I'm not selfish. Like, I don't want to waste anybody's time either. Like, if I know we're not going to be a good fit, or if I know that, well, you know what? Let's dive a little deeper. We got some time here. Let me make sure you guys can see still. The way we pre-qualify customers, guys, is we got two main questions. The first question we ask right off the bat is, what is your timeline? Because we stay booked out several months. So that right there, we lose probably 75% of our leads that way because we're just too booked out. And so that's the first question we ask. How soon do you need this project done? And if it's like immediately, you know, we're already done. Like, we don't proceed any farther because I've lived that life, guys, where I worked 7 days a week, and don't get me wrong, I still do, but I just don't work for customers. I'm doing stuff at the house, maintaining equipment, bids and stuff like that. But I used to run machines 7 days a week because I would always squeeze customers in. I always hated missing work. So I would always be like, you know what? Yeah, I'll squeeze you in. And here I am out working all weekend. And guys, I don't do that no more because I learned a lesson. Guys, I'm going to end up rambling here. Mute me if you don't like it. I learned a lesson from a really good friend of mine that does really well in business. And we were camping once. And he may see this video. We were camping once, and I said, how do I be like you? I said, I want to be like you. And this is before I owned a business. And his answer was, Ron, the more money you make, the more you spend. And that's literally all he had to say to me. And I knew exactly what he meant. The more money you make, the more you spend, the more stuff you got, the more stress. Guys, life's not about things. I've learned that. I have everything I've ever wanted. Land, house, my dream truck, the F450 that I thought, man, if I get this F450, I'm gonna be happy. I've made it. I just got to get this one more thing. I got to have this camper. I got to have this truck. I got to have this land. Guys, I'm I'm 42. Things don't make you happy. It's people and relationships is what makes you happy. I went off on a tangent there, but I guess I went off on a tangent because I was talking about how much if you work, you make more money and you just spend it, guys. So, like, what's the point in working and having all this stuff if you're just going to buy it and it sits in your driveway or sits in your garage? That's my point here. The more money you make, the more you spend. So I don't work myself into the ground anymore. I find a good pace, and that's what I do. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to spin around, work my way up. So that's one question, guys. Sorry. Let's get back on topic here. That's one question that I ask my customers. What is your timeline? So that cuts out most of our leads right there. So that protects my time and our customers' time, because I don't want to go out and set an appointment to meet a customer, and then I go out there, they take time off work or whatever it may be to meet me, and the first question I ask is, hey, when do you want this done? And they're like, now. And I'm like, oh, well, that's just not gonna work. So it's serving your customers as well, if that makes sense. So that's the first question. And then the next question I ask guys is we go over their project and I give some bracketing prices. So, and this is where narrowing down your services really help, and you get really good at certain things. And guys, I'm a huge advocate for that. That's why we stay small. We just have these compacted machines. You can get bracketed pricing. So like, I already know if somebody calls and they're like, hey, I got a driveway, I need you to grade, blah, blah, blah. So I'll get their address and I'll look up on Google. I'm sitting there on the phone with them. And you guys, you can measure distances on Google. So check that out. If you're not familiar with it, figure it out. Go to Google Maps. So while I'm chatting with the customer on the phone, in the background, I'm on my computer measuring distances of driveways, and I know, how much I can do in a day. So if a customer calls and it's a 400-foot driveway, I already know it's going to be my minimum charge. So I can give them ballpark prices over the phone, because guys, it's contractors, it's our job to educate our customers. That's part of our job. We do run machines and stuff like that, but we're salesmen and we are educators. You got to educate your customers. That's important. And education is part of sales. It all goes together. So what I'm getting at is some customers, they may call and want you to come give them a bid on driveways, grading a driveway, or whatever the project may be. They have no idea what things cost, guys, and I completely understand it. That's why they hire it out. So I give a bracketed price. I'm like, okay, for me to grade your driveway, it's going to be between, this is a hypothetical, it's going to be between $1,500 and $2,500, but I need to come out and look at it and see how much material we need and stuff like that. And some customers will be like, oh no, that's just out of our price range. And my response to that is, I completely understand. Sorry, we couldn't help. Good luck with your projects. And you move on, and you don't waste one more minute of your time or your customer's time, guys, because it's important. I'm not being selfish here. You move on. Now, if they're like, oh yeah, Ron, that sounds about right. Now there's a high chance, as long as your customer likes you, you go out and give a bid. If it falls within that bracketed price, you're probably going to get the job. So that's a little trick to the trade, guys. That's two questions that we ask right off the bat. Or not questions. The question we ask is about the timing, and then I pre-qualify, if that makes sense. So that is that. That will save you guys a lot of time. Learn from my experience, trust me. I used to get a phone call and get all excited and be like, yes sir, I will be there in 10 minutes, I'll give you a bid. And then you get there and it just doesn't work out. And another thing, guys, I've learned is, and I appreciate everybody, but I get referrals from other excavation companies. I've gotten referrals, and a lot of times it's been from newer guys in business or whatever. Well, they'll pass the lead off to me because maybe it's too big for them, or they're not confident in doing the work, or whatever the reason may be. Anyhow, where I'm going with that was these guys originally got the lead, right? So they passed it off to me, and I go out and bid it. Guys, I kid you not, I've gotten 0 of those jobs, literally 0. And I don't know why that is. I don't know. I have all kinds of theories, but basically, I want my customers to find me and seek me out. I don't know, guys. It's referrals. Referrals are great. Don't get me wrong, but my best customers are the ones that's done research. They know what they want. They've done their research online, and they found us. Those are my best customers. Because, guys, we spend a lot of time on our reputation. If you want, guys, simply just go Google our company name, Google Bilo Acres, just look. That's all you got to do. We spend a lot of time on that. And I'm not bragging, guys. I'm trying to help you guys out. Get your online presence strong. It's important. Because the way things are changing, the new word of mouth is online. It's just the way it is. The new generation's coming up. Everybody does everything online. People don't talk as much. Word of mouth is still good and still very well alive, but word of mouth on the internet, to me, is more valuable to us. That's what I'm getting at. And guys, I'm fully aware that I'm probably helping out my competitors on here. And that's not the way I see it, guys. I don't see it. Yes, we are competing for work, but guys, there's plenty of work, so I'm not worried about it. But the way I see it, guys, like, if I have a competitor watching this and they're learning from me, which if you are one of those guys, thank you for being here. Reach out to me. I'd like to meet you. But guys, if we all are on the same page, I wish we could all get on the same page and not race to... I got something squealing. Hear that? Something's in my track. We got to stop this race to the bottom crap. We got to stop. We need to stop it. If we could all come together and be like, okay, guys, this is what we're going to charge, and we're not going to go anything lower than that. And I'm fully aware that I'm the new guy in business, and this has been going on probably since the dawn of man. It's just the way it is, but doesn't mean that has to be that way all the time. This is already looking better, and I've only made 2 passes on it. But what I'm looking at is my eyes are focused on my bucket edge right now. I like to be able to see the edge, so let's get that material up in there. I'm really thinking about investing in a grader blade, like a 6-weight grader blade. Any of you guys out there have experience with those, let me know, because I think that may be the trick. It may make me a little more efficient at grading these driveways. We're pretty dang efficient, don't get me wrong, but I'm always looking to improve, if that makes sense. So right through here is where we've really, you can see there to my right how low that road is, and that's just eroded over the years, so I can't dig out this tree. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this road down. I'm going to make like a little turnout there where you can see where I turn. So that's my goal. There is a little bit of base rock through here, but there's going to be a hump here. There's nothing I can freaking do about it because that tree. It'll be better when we're done. That's for dang sure. See that there, and it's always good to get back so you can get a good overall view of what's going on, and I can tell already still that this needs to come down some more. So let's get rid of this crappy material here. And I'm not gonna leave that piled up like that. We'll flick it with the excavator. That's always my goal with my jobs, tread lightly. I want minimal evidence that I was there other than our work, if that makes sense. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking to get my bucket flat on the ground, and that means I have like a perfect outslope or inslope, however you want to word it. I guess this would be an inslope. See there, this is the grade I want. I'm on grade right here. You can check this out. I got these slope indicators here. Super handy. So we got a 4% outslope right now. But here, this right here is a big bowl, guys, and there's nothing I can do about that. Look at it. I might be able to shave down the side of this road, and I will try, but right now I'm just working my way up the hill. Get rid of this rock. Fred's still up the hill trying to get that rock out. Hopefully he's having some luck. I told him not to beat on the machine too hard because there's a fine line of abusing your equipment and using the right tool. The right tool up there is a breaker, but we'll see what happens. See, my left side's cutting and my right's not. I'm still a little high through here. See that? We're just shaving down, guys. That's all we're doing. Little bits at a time. It's all in the prep work. You get your roads prepped right, and then when it's time to bring in rock, it's just icing the cake. That's what I call it. Making her pretty, making it solid. It's all in the prep work. We're getting close. See that? We're getting real close. Right through here, we're like right where I want to be. And then up here, see, we start pitching a little bit right here. But I can keep pushing up the hill now that I got my grade set down there. See that? Just keep pushing up the hill. I'm gonna keep cutting this down. I'll check in with you guys again here in a little bit, because we're gonna be out here the rest of the day, and we'll be back again Monday, so we're gonna have plenty to do out here. We're good to take that tree out. Go ahead and pull it and just throw it over the side. I'll bring a chainsaw back Monday and cut it up, and we'll just get this whole thing sloped out properly. So that is the plan. Change to the change to the change. You're gonna see a common theme with our work. Everything is always adapt and overcome. So everything was shaping up really good. Look at this. I'm really happy with the way this is going so far. This part here, not so much, and that tree was holding us up. So I talked to our customer. I said, hey, if we could take out that little sapling and that tree, we can get this thing sloped properly, and he said do it. So I'm gonna stand back. It's a big one. I guess if we push it over that way and you get it up off the road, Monday I can cut it up in logs and then we can move it. Cause that is a tall sucker. It's better when you're removing trees to do it whole if you can, because you can see what Fred's doing there. The higher up you get, the more leverage you got. But that's got some strong roots on it, look at that. Yeah, he's gonna have to dig on a little bit. I got that pole saw in the truck. Let me go get it. I'll cut that root. Look how big that freaking root is. That, holy mo. Yeah, that's big. Let's go get that pole saw. All right, this is not ideal, but it's what we have. And this is gonna dull the crap out of my chain. The old pole saw did the job. Yeah, by cutting those roots, not only is the excavator gonna push it over easier, but we're not ripping up more of the road, because that root probably goes all the way across the road. I bet you it goes this time. Those roots were big. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Fred's riding a wheelie. There we go. And we got some vines pulling that one. Ooh, there's a dead tree there too. We gotta be careful. Things can go wrong in a hurry. I see that vine. These vines just take over trees out here. It's crazy. Look at that. And it's way up in that one. There we go. We're like the invasive species eradicators. We don't want no stinking vines in our trees. Look at that. The old 60 didn't have enough power to break it. Fred's gonna shape up the edge of this road because there's a lot of rock in here. You can see when I'm grading, I start skipping over this stuff with the skid steer. So what we found on this road in particular, since we got the hey, how you doing, sir? Since we have the excavator here, it's easier just to have Fred shape it up with that, because you're pulling to you and you can dig and claw and get these rocks out. So it's working great, is what I'm getting at. So here we are at the top. I just pulled the dump truck out. Fred was able to get this ditch cleaned out. No breaker needed, so awesome, awesome. So I'll deal with that breaker when I get time. But this ditch here, guys, normally you want a nice, real nice bowl shape, but look what we're dealing with here. I mean, we're working with what we got, so that's that. So we don't need a breaker. Ditch is done up top. Everything's looking good. The only major areas we got to work on is right there where Fred's at, and then right up here along this edge, you can see we still got a bowl. So we're gonna slowly work this edge down to try to get it out sloped. So this whole road from the curve all the way down is gonna have a nice outslope when we're done. That's our goal here. It is Monday and we are back. Check this out. Look at this stupidity. So I'm sitting here trying to fuel up my chainsaw. Look at this. This fuel can has one of these new spouts on it. One of these government spouts that I call it. Look at this. Nothing. Nothing. Doesn't work. This thing's been riding around on the back of this truck for a while, and I don't know what's going on with that, but looks like I gotta adapt and overcome once again. Try not to make too much of a mess here. I'm gonna sharpen this chain really quick. It's pretty dull. I have one of those bench grinder chain sharpeners at home, but it's not here. So we're gonna go old school. What a weekend. We have two girls. One's 12 and our youngest is 8, and they are busybody sports girls, and it keeps us busy. It's great though. We love it. It's like our kids' sports have become our hobby. Our weekends are nothing but sports here lately, and then throughout the week we have practice. So me and the wife, we're always split up running the girls around. It's a good life though. I know right now we are in the good old days, and I recognize that because our kids are gonna grow up and be gone before too long, and I don't like it because our girls are sweet. Our next job is actually closer to the house. It's a pretty good little job. We got a driveway to grade, we got a lagoon to clean out. 4 trees, I believe, we got to take out of this yard. Pretty good little job. We'll probably be there 2 days, every bit of 2 days, maybe a little more. I did a little more work over the weekend. Got another job, another cool little drainage job. Busy, busy. And my dream truck, guys, is a 79 Ford pickup. I love those trucks. We had one growing up, and I still have memories of riding around in that thing. Well, I found one on Facebook Marketplace. It's actually a 76, but it's really nice. It's green, same color as the truck we had growing up. Arizona truck, so it's got like a patina look to it. It's really cool. This truck's not perfect by any means. It needs a lot of love, but it's a good foundation to start with. So I actually talked to him over the weekend, and the reason he's selling the truck is he bought land and he needs money to clean it up. He's having it logged, and he needs to raise some funds to hire somebody to come in and clean it up after the logger leaves. Guys, it's working out perfect. We actually talked, and we're gonna do some trading. So what I'm getting at is this Saturday, I'm gonna go down, meet him, look at the truck, we're gonna look at his property and see if we can come up with a plan that'll be fair for both of us. I'm pretty excited about it. Ever since we've started this business, it's taken up so much of my time between the business, running our business, and our kids' sports. We've been so crazy busy, you wouldn't believe it. But we're finally getting in a groove to where I got a little more free time now. I've kind of figured a little more out about running a business, how to prioritize my time and things like that. So what I'm getting at is I want a hobby, and that truck's going to be my hobby if it all works out. I want to get it. I'm not going to do a lot of work to it, but I kind of like the way it is. I'll show it to you guys sometime if it works out. So that's the plan this weekend. Go look at a cool little mulching job, clean up after a logger, and hopefully trade for my dream truck. But like I said, it's a 76, and I already did some research. It looks like I can swap over a 79 front grille and headlights and things in it, because I prefer those square headlights. It just brings me back. So that's the plan. I'm excited. You guys didn't see it, but earlier I set the chainsaw down. I didn't have that brake on, and it hit a rock and dulled my chain. Plus I suck at sharpening chainsaw chains. So I got everything working against me. You seen how bad that was. Saved you! That's good enough. Let's just throw the rest over the hill.
Okay.
He just wanted a couple logs for firewood. Guys, do not follow me for chainsaw chain sharpening skills, because you will be disappointed. Look at this. This is the first sign right here. Let's wait till Fred's done. The first sign that your chain is dull, for one, you've seen how long it takes. That was embarrassing. Two, we'll walk over there in a second. The sawdust is very fine. You want big chips. Our goal is to get that off the neighbor's property and down over the hill. So that's what Fred's doing. Then we're gonna load these out in the back of our customer's truck later when he gets here. Check this out. This is what I was trying to say earlier. See how fine this sawdust is? That's not good at all. All right, while Fred finishes that up, I'm gonna go get the skid steer ready for the day, get her greased up, get her warmed up. We got a road to grade. We got 3 loads here. Ooh, look at that buck. That's a nice one. Let's go check that out. See if he'll hang out for a minute. The deer here are so... Oh, nope, he's gonna run. That's a nice one. That's a shooter. Let's head down towards our house. The deer here are so tame. All week last week when we was down here working, deer were just chilling down there in that bottom. But what I was gonna say, we have 3 loads here now out of 8. So this is number 4. Yeah, number 4. If I can talk. So this is 3 loads of rock here on this road. We hauled 2 last week. Fred brought one with him this morning. And you can see Fred just got back with the 4th. But normally we would tailgate this kind of thing, but you see how wide this road is? That's why we're not tailgating it, and there's limbs overhead. So what we're doing is we're just dumping it in piles and I'm spreading it. Because I don't want to put a crown on this road, because you've seen earlier, I gave this road a good outslope. So half the rock is here, and we're almost up the hill already, so we'll be able to build this road up real nice, which will be good. We dug out a bunch of rocks through here with the excavator, so this road doesn't look the best right now. You can see right in front of me, in front of that pile I just dumped, there's a low spot in the road, but I just had no material to shape it. So my plan all along was just to shape it with this base rock here, build the road up. And I already talked to the customer. We're on the hook to do our annual maintenance program on this road, so we'll be out once a year to keep this thing maintained. Got my weather radio going there. Turn that off. We're having another good week of weather, which is good. Every time I'm looking at my rear view camera, I got a car behind me. They're trying to leave right when we dump the rock every time. Let me get this rigging pass through here real quick. That's the thing when you're working in these communities, is you got to have your head on a swivel at all times. Not everybody's aware of the low visibility out of these machines, and people will sneak up on you. I've had people come right up next to the machine while I'm moving, trying to get my attention, and stuff gets dangerous. So I'm hoping we'll be out of here around noon today. That'll give us plenty of time to load out and get over to the next job. And John here, he has a utility project he wants me to bid right before we leave, so I'm gonna look at that as well. That's your best customers, guys, are the ones you've already worked for, the ones that know, like, and trust you. Yeah, like I said earlier, if this was just a typical, 12 to 15 foot driveway, we would just tailgate it, but this sucker is wide. It is wide. It's like a county road almost. So you can see right here, if I don't build this up over here, I'm gonna lose my grade, because I want to outslope to this road. So it's important while you're spreading the rock to kind of maintain your shape, if that makes sense. And I'll bring you guys in the cab with me here on the next load. I'll show you the slope and pitch indicator, what I'm looking at while I grade. Right now I am not on grade right there, but we'll fix it. There's a lot of challenges in this road. We dug out a lot of the rocks, but at some point you just got to call it good, because we would be out here for the end of time digging up rocks. So there are still rocks in the road. We just got the big ones. See, there's one right there to my left. It's not really in the road bed, but it's on the edge of the road. See what I'm doing here? I got that right now. See, let me explain this. So I can see the right side of my bucket there, and I can't see the left. So what I'm doing is I'm keeping that right side right above the rock, and I'm letting this rock drop in. You can see I have no material here, so we're gonna go ahead and deposit that there. If I keep getting on these bigger road jobs like this, I may end up getting one of those 6-way grader blades. A lot of our driveway jobs are not this big, and they're not this wide and straight. A lot of them are just your typical driveway. So I'm pretty efficient with this bucket doing that. I think there may be a more efficient way to do what I'm doing here. That would be that 6-way blade. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time perfecting this quite yet, because we got a lot of more rock coming, so I'm probably going to call this good for now. I'll pull that rock in off the left side and get that spread. Last load is here, so we ended up bringing 4 extra loads, so we got 12 loads of rock on this drive. Turned out pretty nice. So all I got left to do is spread this here, get it finished graded, and compact it, and we're out of here. Fred's been a trucking sucker today. Look at this stuff. I like this here. See, this is a 1-inch base rock, guys. It's got a lot of fines in it, and fines is crushed up rock. But what that means is, see all that powdery stuff? That's the fines. That's crushed up rock, and then that's the 1-inch pieces. But check this out. It's a little bit moist, which is great. See how that's kind of clumping together? That's going to compact really nice on this drive. You get out here in the summer and everything is super dry. This stuff's like powder, and it does not compact. So conditions are really good right now to make a really nice, hard, compact road for these guys. Well, guys, that is a wrap. Let's go on a walk. I'll show you what we got. We are all loaded up, and we are out of here. Here she is, all done. Turned out pretty nice. This thing's gonna shed water pretty good now. Remember that big old low spot that was right here? We got all that shaped up real nice. Took out that tree. You guys seen that? Turned out really nice. Customer's really happy, and it's a good little project for us. And we're already on the books to come back and do maintenance on this, because these roads, guys, they require maintenance. You got to upkeep them. So we're going to be back once a year to grade this, and that's just awesome. That's exactly what we want. But another project in the books. Guys, thank you so much for sticking around to the end, supporting us on here, watching our videos. If you got anything out of this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys on the next one.